Hello viewers, welcome to CodeForAny. Fruit market apps inside today need to developing this here. The home tab UI we need to develop here. First of all, making here UI for the app bars need to develop. Then after the search bars, and then after need to developing this here the tab. Otherwise, the segment controls we need to develop here. And then after need to sections and subtitles need to draw here for this UI. Let's start how to write down our this UI inside the Flutters. First of all, need to making here the home tabs. Inside we need to find out here the lib folders and to find out here the screen folders inside the home folders, and we need to create here the new files and to give this here the name home underscore tab underscore screen dot dots like this. Need to write down here the name and to create here the stateful widgets, and to give this here the name home tab controls. Of tab screens, we need to give this here the name, create here the scaffold, and we need to create here the app bars. We need to write down here the app bars, and we need to set here the title. We need to set this here the text and set this here the titles fruit market like here, and we need to set this here the style textiles, and we need to set this here the color white, and set here the font size. We need to set here the font size. We need to configure here 18 bold font weight, set here the font weight 700 like this. We need to set here and show this here, and configures inside the main tab view screens, and to change this here the controller to home tab screen like here. Save here and look like this here the show markets, and we need to go here the home tabs, and we need to set here the center text to change here. Center titles need to set this here the false, and headings also need to write down here the blank containers declares here and show like this here this UI, and need to set here the heading width. We need to set this here the 15s and show like this here the UI. Now we need to create here the action buttons, and to create here the icon button on press event, and need to give this here the icon, set here the icons dot notifications, and notification icons like here, and to set this here the colors white, so here's and show like this here the UI and making like here's, and then after need to create here the body. Set here the body is equal to, need to write down here the scroll view, and we need to set this here the single child scrolls. Need to set here the child, and we need to give this here the column create here like here, and now we need to create here the container decorations. Need to set this here the stack like here the children's, and set here the alignment set here the dot center, not center, top center like here, and we need to set this here the containers here, and we need to set here the color, three color primary colors, and we need to give this here the width max, double max speed, and we need to give this here the height. We need to set this here the 40, and now need to creating here the text fields. We need to set and another containers here set here the childs, which is code here, and we need to give this here the padding. Const edges, maybe we need to set here the margin, not padding. Const edges insert symmetric, and we need to not symmetric edges insert only top. We need to set this here the 20, like here. So we need to set this here, remove these colors, and we need to set here the decoration, box decorations, like here. Create here the color white, and we need to set this here the border radius circular. Need to set this here the pie, and need to set here the box shadow, like here, and we need to setting here the box shadow. Give this here the color 26, and blur radius. We need to set this here the 2, like here to configurations. This value you need to configure this here, and show like here this UI. You need to increase this here 30 and increase here the 50, and we need to set this here 20 here, like here, and we need to set here the margins. Const need to give this here the left and right. Need to give this here the 20, and bottoms we need to set this here the 4, and look like this here the show for this UI. We need to creating here. Now this is the setting here, and to increase this here the border radius, so we need to set this here the 10, and now we need to set here the padding. Const edges insert symmetric, and we need to set this here the no needs here, so we need to text fields insert, set here the decorations, input decoration, set here the not constraint, and to set here the content padding on, set here the symmetric horizontals. Need to set this here the 15, and show like here for this UI, and show like here the this text fields. Now we need to change this here the enable borders. Need to set input border none. We need to set here input border dot none, like here, same as focus border. Input borders we need to set here none, and show like this here the UI are the creating CS. Now we need to set here the in text. We need to set here. Need to give this here the search text, like here, and show like this here, and set here the style, int style. Set here the text styles. Set here the color, three colors, placeholders, and look like this here the colors here. Now we need to set here the prefix icons. We need to set here the widgets prefix icons, and we need to set here the icon, like dots. We need to search, and we need to set here the color, three color, primary colors. We need to placeholder colors. We need to set this here, and show like this here the UI. Need to set here this content padding subtitles, maybe make here the issue. We need to change this here, remove this prefix, create here the need to change this here horizontals, vertical set here the in like this show here for this UI. We need to configure this data for the search bars or the drawing here the dense for this UI. Now we need to creating here the buttons for the here the selecting here the vegetables fruit and dry fruit types. We need to configure here. After this text we need to create here the row like here, and we need to set here the padding, set here symmetric, give this here the horizontal. We need to set this here the 20, and we need to write down here the main axis alignments. We need to set this here space between. We need to configure this here for this UI. Now we need to create here the inkwell button. We need to develop here, and on tab events we need to write down here and create here the childs, and to develop here the containers. Decorations also need to set this here the box decorations. Set here the color white, and set here the border radius circular. We need to set this here the 5, like we need to configurations for this UI, and we need to set this here the padding const edges inset symmetric horizontals. We need to set this here the 15s, and verticals we need to set this here the 8 for this UI. Now we need to set here the height and width. We need to configure here for this UI. We need to set here the text property, and we need to write down here the expandable expanded, and we need to create here the child and set here the text property. We need to set this here the titles. We need to give this here the first one is vegetables. We need to configure this here the vegetable like here's set here the style textiles, and we need to write down here the styles color t color secondary text. We need to configure here for this UI, and font size. Need to check inside the XD files. We need to put in regular font. We need to use here for this UI, and show like this here these buttons. Also need to increase this here for the margin const edges inset, maybe wrong place, not here. Need to set here verticals. Need to set this here the 15, and show like this here. Now we need to convert into the common buttons. We need to write here. Now we need to cut this button event, copy, and we need to create here the common widgets inside the new files, and selection button, select button dot dot, and we need to create here the statelet widgets, and to give this here the name select button titles. We need to configure here. We need to import here the material dependency, and we need to paste this code here. Now we need to declare here the three final types. We need to declare final string, as we need to needs here the title like here, then final dot need to give this here the bool types is select types. We need to set here, then after on one void callbacks need to need this here the click events need to write here. That's why I need to need this here the void callback events need to write here callback, and we need to write down here the on press event like here, and we need to import this here add field parameters like here. So need to configurations by default need to remove here the is select and default set here the false like here. So need to configures. Now need to set this here the titles as a vegetables like here the paste on press event need to like here, and we need to write down here the selection event. If select, then to set this here the secondary colors we need to give this here the t color dot secondary colors secondary. Need to check this here inside availables color extensions secondary here like here. So need to set here inside the select buttons for secondary, remove this here the import this color extensions, and to fix this here these errors. And also we need to change this here the selections. If here the select types, then we need to set this here the t color dot white text, and need to set this here the font weight. If here select, then we need to set this here the font weight dot 700 not 7 we need to set here the semi bold, and regular font we need to write down here weight dot normals. Like we need to configuration for the select buttons we need to set here. Now we need to show these buttons here the apply here inside these screens. We need to go against here the hop tabs, and we need to expand inside. Need to use this here the direct these buttons select buttons, and to set this here the titles as vegetables, and give this here the is select types. You need to configurations and on tab event like here, and we need to declare here the one types in it, and you need to select tab is equal to need to set here the 0 by default set here the 1. Now copy here, and we need to configure this here equal to 0 like copy here, and to set this here the set state select tabs equal to need to set here the 0 copy here for this UI. Need to paste this here the two times like here, and we need to clean this here maybe wrong here to use this here this expandable like here set here the 1 2 1 and 2 set here the dry put titles here. Third one is dry fruits, and here's only fruits like here. So need to set this here for the configurations. Now need to save and show like this here. Need to set this here the central line. So need to configure here. Now need to go inside the select buttons, and we need to give this here the alignment. Set here alignment dot center. Save this here and show like this here this data, and change this here this tab. Look like this here the show need to verticals need to change this here the set here 6 and small size like here. So need to showing like this here the home tabs. Now need to developing this here the fruit section. So need to develop here, and yesterday we need to making this here the horizontal list. Not yesterday, sorry for that. So need to tomorrow need to continue this here the horizontal list of the fruit list we need to develop here. Now today only we need to develop this here the sections of the section UI. Now need to go inside here's the home tabs, and we need to write down here the UI after here this padding like here. Need to creatings for this UI. We need to create here the column like here. Set here the childs, and we need to set here the row like here, and we need to set this here the text. Need to property, we need to declare here for this UI now, like this. Copy here this text, and we need to paste this here. Then after we need to set here the titles of this text. We need to given this here the organic fruits or these titles like this here. So we need to type topics this here the organic text, organic like here, and we need to check this here the font size. We need to give this here the 16 semi bold. So need to configurations here the 600 for this fonts, and colors need to give this here the three primary color text colors. We need to configure here. Now we need to save this here and show like this here. Now we need to set here the padding, and we need to set this here symmetric. Horizontals, we need to configurations for this UI. We need to set here the 20, and verticals we need to set this here the 4 and show like this is UI. Now we need to another text. We need to give this here for the showing here the whoppers, and we need to set here the primary colors for this UI, and to displaying this here the whoppers like here. So we need to 20% of like here, and to check this here the font size we need to 12 semi bold and show like this UI. Need to set this here, and then after again we need to show this here the titles after here this row, and we need to write down here the cross axis element. Need to set with here the start, and need to show like this here the data, and we need to set this here the pickup from organic prompts. Need to set here the subtitles for this UI. Need to paste this here and show like this here. Now need to change this here the 12 regular font. Need to set here, so remove this here the font weight and show like this here this UI, and to set this here this data, and to give this here the some width space. Need to height space. Need to given this here. Need to set here the 4 and const value. Save here and show like this here. To increase this here, set the 6 for the space, and show like similar to designs. We need to making here the sections. Now we need to convert into the common sections. We need to put here. Now need to cut this code, copy here, go inside here the common widgets, and to give this here the section title, subtitle, title, subtitle dot dots. Need to create here the stateless widgets to set here the section title, subtitles, and we need to import this here the material dependency. Now we need to paste this code and import this here the color extensions. Now we need to write down here the final string, and we need to set this here the titles final string, set here the upper title like here, and then after final string subtitles need to set like this here and import this text here, these parameters. Now need to give this here the titles as a organic fruit. Then after this offer titles inside the give this like show like this here the offers. Need to set this here the text. Need to configurations and show like this data into offer titles and subtitles here like this here the subtitles. Now need to save and to use this here the sections. Now need to go inside the home screens and to set here the section title. Give this here the titles as a organic fruit. Then after need to show like this here the whoppers. This give this here the whopper, and need to show like here the pickup from organic prompts. Like you need to set this here the subtitles value. Need to paste this here this code here, and we need to change this here removing here, and create here the sections and show like this here. Now need to create here the another sections. First of all, need to copy this value and we need to paste here these codes, and now need to set here the mix mix fruits pack for these titles, and to give this here the 10%, and we need to set this here the fruit mix fruit mix fresh pack, like here's for these titles, and give this here the comma and show like this here the sub sections need to show like here's. If you like this here the video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any question, so please write down the comment sections. I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.